Arguably the most controversial Royal Rumble in WWE history. Let's talk about it.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. No, it's an insane reaction. I'll just give a spoiler. I really like this Royal Rumble.
I liked it.
This was, to me, phenomenal Royal Rumble on the women's side and the men's side. The two matches were great as well, though the crowd didn't care about one. But, oh boy, go online. This is getting talked about as one of the worst Royal Rumbles of all time.
But I feel like people just always say that.
No, but
people like always get mad about like winners and stuff.
But the fan reaction to this one is different, man. It reminds me of Roman before he became like a heel and beloved and everything. It was the Roman like he's getting shoved down our throat reaction. Outside of that, I think maybe when Batista won the Royal Rumble instead of Bryan and the whole entire crowd was pissed. But it's interesting. The crowd were very happy with these Rumble wins, but the internet was not.
Right.
So let's get into the Royal Rumble. I guess I'll just start kind of breaking down some stuff, and you just talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay.
And then I'll kind of go through some stuff that I maybe see for Mania. But we started out with the Women's Rumble, and we started out with Io Sky and Liv Morgan. My favorite versus your favorite. That was dope.
Your favorite technically was out first.
By quite literally 15 seconds. 15 seconds.
Still first. Still first.
So they go for a very, very long time. Then we had the Iron Woman of this Royal Rumble and broke the record for the longest time in the Royal Rumble, Roxanne Perez.
That's crazy because she only broke it by 47
47 seconds, yeah. Liv Morgan almost broke it. Liv actually may have broken the record, but then also Roxanne broke the record.
Probably.
But so Roxanne makes it to the second to last.
Yeah.
I
did like that pick.
We had Ivy eliminate Lyra, which I do think that's the Intercontinental Championship match
Probably.
now. We had Chelsea and Piper get involved. Lash Legend showed up, which was super cool.
We had Roxanne, technically NXT, although I think she's called up now. We had Lash, we had Jada, we had Stephanie Vaquer.
Yes.
And then we had Julia.
Yes.
We had a lot of NXT people.
I thought that we needed a lot of NXT talent because it's the best NXT women's roster of all time.
Yeah.
So we needed to see a lot of that representation there. We got to see Jordynne Grace show up at number 19, officially a part of WWE.
Yeah.
We got to see Bianca pissed off that Jordan and Naomi were friends.
They were like hugging in the ring, and she was like, that's my best friend, bitch.
Did you see the spot that people were talking about, the botch spot, the snot botch?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
They were laughing. I thought it was phenomenal. Okay, so any more storylines going?
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss's return.
Back, yeah.
Holy shit, was that huge. She was duping everybody online saying that it wasn't happening.
She had me. I thought she wasn't coming.
Apparently, it ended up happening like last second.
Yeah.
Trish.
Shotzi.
Yes.
Which was a little sad.
Yeah, I feel bad for Shotzi. Trish showed up.
I think might have something going on.
Yeah, I think that she's going to have something going on. I think that's going to be Trish and Tiffany versus Nia and Candice. And then we got the return.
Nikki Bella
at 30.
is back, and it sounds like she is doing another run. A singles
run. It looks like it.
On it, obviously. Which I am super excited for.
Why don't you give who you want Nikki to face?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I do like Nikki Liv. I feel like their vibes are similar enough where like they could go at each other pretty well. Because I also feel like, I don't know, if it was me booking Nikki, like she's been out of the ring for so long, like I'm sure she's in great shape, she's been training, but like you want to put her with somebody like you feel good with in the ring, like just rather be safe than sorry. I think I'd like her to go up against like Liv. I think that would be probably my best pick. But there's so many like potential stories that are starting now. It's kind of hard to pick one out.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with Liv.
I think Liv's a great pick. I think, who would I like to see her go up against? Liv makes a lot of sense. I mean, Roxanne, maybe. I wonder if Nikki hasn't faced somebody like, I'm just trying to think about when their paths cross. Like, I wonder if like Nikki and Bailey haven't went up or, it's something like that. That could just be cool. But yeah, Nikki's so different to this new generation.
Yeah.
Nikki versus Chelsea though. I think that's the one I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did see some people complain that there was a lull for this women's rumble. I didn't feel it personally.
I don't think there was a lull. I think they did a really good job of. I mean, I guess if you don't really care for like go down a little bit. I feel like if you don't really care for like NXT, there might have been a bit of a lull between Alexa and Charlotte, maybe.
Yeah.
Like outside of Trish.
Yeah.
It's like Zelina, which like Zelina is great, but she's not doing anything really right now. Candice is like
Stephanie.
If you don't watch NXT, then Stephanie
Yeah.
you don't care about, and then Trish is cool, but then Raquel is usually not a huge pop, and then Charlotte. So like there could be a lull there, or maybe during like the Sonya, Maxine, Ivy time frame. But outside of that, I don't think that there was much of a lull at all. I think they did a really good job of giving us a good roster with a couple legends and then also some NXT call-ups. I think they did a really good mix with the Women's Rumble.
I'm going to give a couple of my favorite and least favorite parts. So my favorite part of this entire Rumble is Julia coming out at 28.
Yeah.
And everyone's knocked out.
Yeah.
And Io's there.
Yeah.
And they look at each other for just a second. And then they just battle.
Yeah.
And it was so dope. It's a tease that...
They're going to be fun to watch.
I really think that Julia may end up losing the championship at Stand and Deliver. And if Io's not facing Rhea, which it looks like maybe she's not, I wonder if they just go at Mania, Io versus Julia.
I mean, that'd be a big match.
I'm also very interested to see what ends up happening with Asuka. Apparently, she's on her way back. She didn't show up here.
Right, but she was there, wasn't she? Wasn't she traveling this weekend? To Indy? I don't know if it was to Indy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would love, even if it's a very, very short story, though I'd love a longer story with it. Io, Julia, and Asuka in a triple threat would be really cool. We thought that we were going to see Becky, Jade, AJ Lee. There was no
no one said AJ Lee. Is
no,
what's crazy.
No,
everybody gaslit themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was funny because I obviously tweeted about it, and I was like, "Don't be mean to Nikki because you're mad that AJ's not there." And Minnie was like, "Girl, I gaslighted myself.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be AJ." I saw recently an interview that AJ did where like she said she still has like numbness in her like hands and arms and stuff sometimes from the injuries that she has. Would she even be cleared with that?
I don't know.
I feel like you could make that worse if you're getting numbness to your limbs.
I mean, Brian was wrestling with it.
With numbness?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Brian was like, some days I can't feel my arm. Like,
that feels like a problem. Anyway.
But no. So that was one of my favorite moments was Julia Io. Give me that immediately. I don't care. Fucking NXT Evolve. I don't give a fuck where. That's all I want. Obviously, the Charlotte return's cool. All of the returns were cool. Nikki Bella, Stephanie McCurr. But I think Jordan Grace having some big moments there was super cool. But my second favorite was Lash. I think she got some big moments in this.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think they were gonna put her in it because there's so many women on the roster that you could use. But I think they're really showing that they're valuing
the
NXT
the hell
women's
out of
roster,
it.
and they're really. NXT men's roster, y'all gotta step it up.
Oh my god,
it's
we're comparing apples to fucking airplanes.
It's not even close.
It's insane. I am very interested. I think that one of my favorite things was just the way that they set up a lot of the matches.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I see it as Liv and Raquel versus Alexa, as Liv eliminated Alexa. I see Liv and Raquel versus Alexa and Nikki Cross. I also see Trish and Tiffany versus Nia and Candice at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
I am very interested to see what happens with Bianca. There's a lot of people convinced that Bianca's a heel.
A lot of people are thinking that. I do think it's interesting that is an idea being floated around at the same time that it's being floated with Cody.
Yes, that's true.
The two people that everybody was like, they'll never go heel because they are literally the male and female versions of each other. They are the superheroes all the kids love. They're like forever babyface. You never think they're going to turn.
Yeah.
And the idea is kind of being floated around for them at the same time on the way to Mania, which is interesting.
I think that there's a reason for that. I think that there's a lot of Triple H likes to bend it a little bit about being like, oh, you don't have to be necessarily a heel or a face.
Which I like.
And I
like
I think that there's teases for that. But I don't think that they're going to pull the trigger.
I don't think so either. I don't think they should. I don't think they should either because I think if you're going to do that, you need to have somebody ready to take their place. As like even if it's temporary until they're babyface again, you need to have somebody like that big, that like kind of pure superhero character. And I don't think we necessarily have that for the men or women's division right now.
So I'll go over to my least favorite moment.
Okay.
I think my least favorite moment, it was a spot that just took me out for a lot of it. The Nia spot.
Which Nia spot?
The Nia eliminating, like, however, legitimately.
6 girls
I
at
was gonna
once.
say it was like 6, like 8, like
so people have been talking about it, and people looking back at the video are wondering if Bianca wasn't supposed to be eliminated because she kind of falls. Like she's holding on, and then she just falls, and it almost kind of looks like was she not supposed to go down? Because Liv almost fell and caught herself, but like Bianca was like. You see her flailing.
Yeah.
Like, she, like, low-key kicked Stephanie Vaquer almost in the head, and she almost hit Io, because she's, like, flailing, trying to stay up, and then just loses grip and drops. Yeah. And so people were kind of wondering if, like, maybe that wasn't supposed to be all of those girls going out at once.
Yeah. I mean, Nia got eliminations on, like...
9 people.
She got Stephanie... Wait, she eliminated 9 people?
Isn't that what that number is on the right? 9,
yeah.
9?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's 9 eliminations for Nia. That's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, she got well, it took me out as it was Io, it was like I'm pretty sure Julia was in that. Stephanie, Nikki, and I'm totally fine with if it was Nia that's doing it, but I wish that they just set it up for like, all right, this is what's probably going to happen for WrestleMania.
Right.
And because it's nearly a perfect Royal Rumble. I really love this Royal Rumble. And I was just kind of waiting for that last final bit to go, this is what you're getting for Io or Julia or Stephanie or all these people. And Bianca, Naomi, Jordan, all these people. And it didn't feel like that. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. But that's my only criticism for this match. And then Charlotte ends up going to Nia or eliminating Nia and then going up against Roxanne. And
I was low key. I love that they gave so much to Roxanne in this. I think she's well known enough that they probably didn't need to for her to come to the main roster. Like everybody knows how great she is. But I definitely think it shows like what they view her as for when she comes to the main roster and that she's going to have a big spot there. Yeah. So I'm excited. And she did like a backstage interview thing kind of like hinting that she's called up already.
Yeah, I think that she's going to be called up. I think that she's going to lose that match against Julia. Yeah. It's going to be because of something with Bayley, and it's going to be Bayley versus Roxanne. Yeah. I think that this shows a lot of stuff for WrestleMania. I think that I'm convinced that they're doing the passing of the torch. It's going to be Tiffany, Charlotte. Tiffany wins. Roxanne, Bayley. Roxanne wins. And Lyra, Becky. Lyra wins.
I'm not convinced on that last one.
I get it. That's the least likely one.
Yeah. It would be cool. But I don't even know, like... I get it for, like, Roxanne and Bayley, and I get it for Charlotte, Tiffany, but I don't know if Becky's ready to pass the torch yet.
I don't think it's, like, I mean, they're not going to be, like, done or anything.
No, but I just don't know if, like, Lyra's in a spot to necessarily take the torch from Bayley. I think Tiffany is, and I think Roxanne is.
You mean Becky?
What'd I say?
You said Becky.
Sorry. Yeah, Becky. But like Roxanne is already getting a huge spot. She's not even there yet. Tiffany, obviously champion within the first year. She's going to be like, I don't think they've given Lyra enough to necessarily have Becky hand the torch.
You are 100% right on that. I could not agree more. But I think that's.
I think maybe like in a year or two, maybe. Well, I just don't think that's this Mania.
Well, what I would question, there's no disrespect, but if Lyra should be the girl to have the torch passed from Becky. I know it's, the Ireland connection and everything, and she's watched her, flourish, and I totally get that. Yeah. But I don't know if that's because to me, Becky's better than all of them. In terms of a WWE career, I think that Becky has had a better career than Charlotte and Bayley and all of that. Yeah. And then I think if you were to rank Tiffany, Roxanne, Lyra, have Tiffany and Roxanne wherever you want. They're 1 and 2.
But Lyra's third.
But Lyra's third by a long shot.
She needs more before she can take the torch from Becky if they're going to do that.
But obviously, the big talking point of this match is Charlotte winning.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are pissed.
It's hard because it's like, everyone says that Triple H is like chronically online. Yeah. He got his burner accounts on Twitter. He is looking what everybody says. Yeah, we talked a lot about it during the Rhea Liv feud where like it seemed kind of obvious that he was really listening to what people were saying because things kept getting changed and then it was too much. How do you not hear what people say about Charlotte? Like, I don't know if he was like, oh, they'll value getting Tiffany Charlotte out of it more than they'll be mad about her winning. I don't know if that's true.
I
think my thing is like you could have gotten to Charlotte Tiffany without 100%. This.
I think that's what a lot of people's frustration is, right? That they're like Charlotte could literally And it's what I said on the podcast. Charlotte could just come out on SmackDown and be like, Tiffany, I want your title.
Right.
Like that. It's that easy.
Yeah.
However, I think that this is the best way. I don't think that Tiffany had any worry about people picking. I think that people would have picked Tiffany over Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a guarantee for WWE.
Yeah.
This is why I support the move. And one, you're getting Charlotte Tiffany. I think that's the match to make for WrestleMania. Two, you're guaranteeing that Charlotte's a heel now because now that she won, everyone hates her.
I mean, that's fair. It just like I think there's an issue in it in that a big thing with the women's roster is we gotta push new people. We gotta do new shit. We gotta keep the division moving. And this feels same shit, different day.
It is.
Which it is. It's true. Every time she comes in, she gets handed an opportunity, handed whatever. And I get it. She's a big star. She's a good wrestler. She's, whatever you want to say about her. But it doesn't feel like progress. It feels like we could have given it to like Io, or we could have given it to even Roxanne if you want to have a good fucking time. There were so many options that it could have been that were not Charlotte. Yeah. And I think my thing, I'm okay with Charlotte winning, mostly because I got points in the Fantasy Wrestling League. Yes, also because I just kind of expected it. Yeah. I don't think there was an
This was your prediction.
Yeah, I don't think there was an obvious pick outside of Charlotte by any means to pick. It could have just been like
someone had their hopes on Io.
Well, you could have picked Io and had like a good time. That's totally fine. But there wasn't someone as obvious to win it. Yeah. But one of my things is I hate when you can make something happen in another way.
And you decide
to pick the easy way.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing I say for, like, Money in the Bank winners. It should not go to a veteran. It should not go to somebody who's in the title scene. That should go to somebody that you want to push, who eventually gets the title in the next year. Yeah. And it's kind of the same thing with this. So, like, fair. I'm up and down a little bit. Like, I mean, when we were in the final two, I was kind of like, Triple H.
Look,
you want to be a hooper? We could go Roxanne.
I support the Charlotte win. I'm still in the same boat that I wish it was Io. I wish it was Roxanne. Yeah. I wish it was something. I wish it was Julia. I wish that it was Jordan Grace. Yeah. I wish it was something a little bit cooler.
Jordan Grace would have been fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
She could have picked literally either of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And
she could have picked Lyra.
She could have picked the NXT champion. Like, she could have, it could have been very, very fun. Yeah. But I'm also not mad at I don't want to say like the logical pick, but like the predictable. Yeah, the easy pick, because I still like where they're going with this. And I think that they'll do themselves a big injustice if they don't, but I believe that they will. I think that they will make this a part of her character.
Yeah, I think
it's like, I get whatever I want.
Yeah.
Just kind of, and this, once again, it guarantees Tiffany's going to be the baby face in this, which I'm happy for.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind it. I thought this Rumble overall was awesome.
I like the men's better than the women's, I think. I liked the roster of the women's better.
I liked the first 15, probably, or so. I think I liked the women's, like, I didn't like the women's ending. I like the men's ending way more.
Okay.
But I like the women's like the middle.
The meat of it.
That's actually, that's probably, I like the meat of the women's part
that's
more.
Fair. I think that's fair.
But yeah, I really wish Julia or Io would have won. And then we get to DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns.
Respectfully, that was a popcorn match if I've ever seen that shit.
I mean, they were placed in a tough position.
They were, but it's just,
they hooped their ass off. I mean, it's a good match.
The story of this match has nothing to do with
No, it does not. Well, honestly, obviously the biggest part of the story is the Street Profits, but the second part of I think the part of the story is the fans did not give a fuck about this. This is the first time the titles have ever been defended since WrestleMania, and on a pay-per-view. And the fans were just like,
listen.
I mean, they were chanting, "We want Cena, we want Cody." It was just like they were like, respectfully, just spoiled brats. Like, it was insane.
I think, but here's the problem. A couple things. One, they have not done well with making them exciting.
Motor City Machine Guns or DIY?
Both.
I like the story that they're doing with DIY.
The story,
I love Motor City Machine Guns.
Fine, but it's not the hype that a lot of other stories have. You're not as invested. in it.
The issue with Motor City Machine Guns is if you don't know the Motor City Machine Guns from TNA, then you don't care about the Motor City Machine Guns. They haven't given you a reason to care about the Motor City Machine Guns in WWE.
But that's the problem.
I think DIY people
I think we are very much, and by we I mean you, overestimating.
Yeah, 100%.
Like there's WWE fans watch WWE.
WWE, yeah.
They do not watch TNA.
Yeah.
They do not watch the Indies.
Yeah.
They do not watch AEW for the most part.
Yeah.
Like so they don't know the history of the Motor City Machine Guns. They don't even know much about DIY probably. Because they haven't done much.
Yeah, I think that
DIY
they just see them as like kind of generic heels, and then they see Motor City Machine Guns generic baby faces.
But it's really hard to do nothing with this division for so long, nothing with these tag teams for so long, and then because you have Motor City Machine Guns, now you're trying to make it work. But it's not like I want to be excited because I really like the Motor City Machine Guns. I'm not excited by this feud. Like they haven't made me care that much.
No.
I kind of forget it's happening.
Yeah.
And I've loved Motor City Machine Guns since like 2010 when I was watching TNA.
Yeah.
Like if you're not getting me excited, you definitely ain't getting the people in
100%.
the crowd or at home excited.
I just think they went too far with the like we want Cody.
I think that's obnoxious and rude.
There wasn't an attempt to give a fuck.
No.
And if the match lacked or something lacked there, fine. And I get it. The story is lacking. The story's not great.
Yeah.
But like, God, it was dead from the jump.
Yeah.
Because people were just like, I don't care.
I think the problem is when people go to the Rumbles, they just care about the Rumble. Unless you have like a big title match like a Cody Kevin Owens.
Right.
Like people just I bet you if we had a women's tag match, that would have been the same shit if not worse.
No, that's fair. It's not like people were like, oh fuck DIY and Motor City Machine Guns specifically, but it was just being spoiled. It was I want the big stuff.
But also, if you think about it, again, respectfully, DIY, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Motor City Machine Guns are like two great technical tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
WWE fans don't give a fuck about that.
It was some great tag team wrestling.
But that's not WWE. If you're only watching WWE, you are not growing up caring about the technicality of wrestling. You're not caring necessarily about like match quality. When they think match quality, they're thinking big moves, hype, excitement, something crazy. They're not thinking like these are really good like technical wrestlers. That's not happening here.
Look, all I'm saying is I've seen the criticism towards like Gunther, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if the WWE crowd is just like, yeah, bro, I don't want Gunther or Johnny Gargano or Alex Shelley, and we just get out of my face. I don't want to sit next to you at a wrestling show. If you're like that watching this video, don't sit next to me ever. Because I'm hyped. I actually disagree a lot with like when people are like, well, like they don't like, wrestling fans don't care about like technical shit. Or wrestling fans don't care about like good wrestling, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they do. I think wrestling fans, if you see some dope,
it's to an extent.
It's the reason why Jeff Hardy's popular. Because he's dope.
Right, but Jeff also does a lot of things that are like he jumps off ladders and shit.
That's why we should have had this as a ladder match. I know Cody and Kevin was a ladder match, but we should have. It sucks to be like, well, you have to add a stipulation in here, but like, but they need to do some more shit. They need to honestly, they need to pop in like an Ultimate X style tag match for the Motor City Machine Guns to show that they're super super cool. Because what WWE is doing is they're not giving them a reason to be like, oh, Alex Shelley's dope. Right. And that's where I wish that this was planned out a little bit better in terms of like a really, really cool spot. Yeah. But I think that the spot was reserved for what happened.
For the Street Profits coming out and basically fucking up the whole match. So DIY wins because Street Profits interfere.
Yeah.
But Street Profits are now these like weird tweeners. Now, I will say, going off of everything I just said, if they are going to make this interesting, the Street Profits are how they do that. Because the Street Profits do have that aura, that charisma, that like just it factor that people like, and people have been asking for a push for them for a really long time, to the point that we're even like, make him fucking heel. Yeah. We're still gonna cheer him, but make him heel just so we could see him do something. And so I think this I'm hoping this is now something that makes this entire thing a lot more interesting.
Montez pops up with the hoodie thinking that he was in the bloodline. It's kind of crazy. At first, I was like, "That's Solo. That's crazy."
Right.
Or it's Big Jim.
Right.
And then Dawkins comes out with the crutch, which apparently he was walking around WrestleCon and all these places. He was walking around with the crutches on.
So everybody thought
he wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
He wasn't hurt,
That's
but people
hilarious.
thought Doc was hurt.
That's
So he
crazy.
popped up, hit Mercy Machine Guns with the crutches.
Yeah.
Now, why did they go after Mercy Machine Guns specifically? I think that's a question coming out of this. Because I think that they know that that DIY did this to them. They are the ones that attacked, right?
Yeah.
So I think that they go, no, we don't want the Mercy Machine Guns to have the titles. We want to take
We
them
want to be
off
the ones to take
we
the
want to
title
take the,
from
the
them.
titles
That
off
makes sense.
DIY, which I don't know if you necessarily have them as a heel or a babyface. I actually lean towards maybe they're actually closer to babyface.
I think they're closer to babyface right now. They're tweeners, but when they get involved, they'll be babyface.
But
one-on-one,
what they did to a normal audience looked like a heel move.
Yes, but I think the angle they're going with here is kind of like they snapped.
Mhm.
And so they are baby faces, but they're baby faces that have snapped. We got a lot of baby faces snapping lately.
Yeah.
Cody's snapping, Bianca's snapping, her husband's snapping.
It's kind of like Triple H's like
he's really
thing.
enjoying the tweener thing. Right now.
He kind of likes like a more like violent baby face.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited to see where this goes for the Street Profits because I think the Street Profits are going to be. I mean, we've been saying for the last how many years?
I've been saying for like a million years I need them to do something.
Street Profits tag team champions, make them
Yeah.
stars. Montez Ford should be, on every poster that they have. I've been saying as well that I want Montez to be one of John Cena's last matches.
It's also a really good move to have the Street Profits more front and center as tag team champions if you are looking to now capture that new audience. You're going to need a team that is like fun and cool and relatable and like pulls off cool shit, fun to watch,
moves.
like that whole thing. You want all that. That's going to get like new people. That's going to get people coming back, and that's going to get kids interested in, too. So if you want to pull in those casuals that WWE seems very fixated on lately,
I will say
that's a great way to do it.
I made a video about Montez being like, why is he not like champion?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the biggest wrestlers in the industry liked the video.
Yeah.
And I had a wrestler specifically be like, they refuse to push Montez.
Yeah.
And like everyone else sees it and they refuse to see it.
Yeah.
And that's just like,
yeah.
It just worries me that it's like, if you guys haven't seen in the last, how long has he been in? At minimum 6-7 years.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, what is changing here?
Right.
Because they just refuse to push him.
Yeah.
At this point, I would have already had Montez Ford as my world champion of my company.
Right.
So, hopefully, Street Profits get the titles. It'll probably be because Pretty Deadly cost DIY the titles.
But either way, I don't care.
But maybe Pretty Deadly's the ones that take the title off. I don't know. Maybe Montez and Dawkins are moved to.
I guess the main thing is as long as it gets exciting, I don't care. What
is that what happened?
What?
Did the Street Profits do that to get revenge on... No. It can't be. I was going to say, did the Street Profits get revenge on DIY because they attacked them and then they're going to move to Raw, but they needed one last attack, but they didn't get revenge on DIY. They hit Mercy Machine Guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways, let's get to Cody Kevin.
Yes.
Ladder match. Well, I was hoping for a Ladder Wars type match.
Yeah.
We didn't get that, but we still got a very violent match.
We did get the Hornswoggle mini ladder.
We got the WLC ladder, which we will be watching over on Patreon. We will be reacting to that match. A very, very violent match.
Yeah, it was more violent than I thought. That
we see Kevin Owens do a was it exploder bomb, whatever. Wheelbarrow bomb. I don't know.
He flips Cody onto the ladder that is set up between the ladder and then the rope.
Yeah. And Cody takes a nasty bump. Kevin arguably takes an even nastier bump. Kevin's busted open. Cody then continues to attack him. Sammy comes out. Cody attacks him. And Sammy refuses to help Kevin. Cody bloodies up Kevin Owens.
Sammy.
No, sorry. I was saying that Cody attacks Kevin.
Okay.
And then, Sammy comes out. Sammy doesn't help out Kevin. He doesn't help out Cody.
He doesn't really help anyone. He kind of just stands there going between the two of them.
Yeah, he's just rocking a hard place. And then eventually, Kevin has Cody set up on the table.
Yeah.
On the announce table for the package pile driver onto the ladder, which was the spot that I was hoping for.
Yeah.
It's a famous ladder war spot from Ring of Honor between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens and Kevin Steen and El Generico.
Yeah.
But then Cody reverses it, hits an Alabama slam, which we do not see enough nowadays. Shout out Bob Holly. He hit an Alabama slam where Kevin sells like it broke his neck. and that his head was trapped in between the ladders. It
Yeah.
was a great moment. And then when they eventually show Kevin's face, it's covered in blood.
Yeah.
Really, really glad that Kevin bled here because I do think that blood was needed in this. And Cody,
Wins.
I don't know in a heelish way. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
screw it.
Yeah.
Goes up to the ladder. But I thought Sammy was getting involved. Sammy just kind of
Right.
looks
Doesn't
away.
know what to do.
It doesn't know what to do. Cody ends up winning. He wins the match. And then later, at the end of the match, we see Cody walk out and walk over to Kevin. And I thought that he was going to check on him. And then he goes up on the announce table and celebrates over Kevin and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Very heel move.
Yeah.
Very heel dick move that people are comparing to Homelander from The Boys. People are saying that this is Cody's heel turn. That everything that Punk said was right. That Cena was saying that the championship is going to be heavier every day. Cody is not going to be able to deal with that, and it's going to, as he loses friends, he's going to become the thing that he has always hated.
Yeah.
Do you think that happens?
No.
Think Cody's remaining babyface?
Yeah. They're not getting rid of their Superman.
That's fair.
They're not.
It's their merch seller. It's their guy. It's a
kids will cry across the world.
It's a ballsy move. However, what I will say is that there is always a world where you go, what if Cena turned heel during his prime?
Yeah.
What if it was 08 Cena and he turned heel? What would wrestling look like? What would Cena's career look like?
And we'll probably have that question in about 20 years. Because Cody's not going heel.
And we might not. But I do think that it's a very interesting thought experiment to go, well, let's see it with Cody. Right. Because also, even though, dude, fuck him to the sun. Hulk Hogan, right? Oh. Eventually, he becomes heel, and it revolutionizes the industry with NWO. Right. And that was the biggest babyface.
Yeah. I mean, I do think you probably have a better shot now of making your superhero a heel, because I think kids roll with it a lot more now. They just like whatever's cool. You don't have to necessarily be a good guy. There's a good chance that they make him kind of heel, and if you do the story right, kids still go for it.
What if it's...
I mean, my nephew, 9 years old, he been loving Drew McIntyre. No matter babyface, heel, doesn't matter what the fuck he does. That man comes out with that sword and he said, that's my guy.
What if we create a new NWO and it's Cody and he brings in Ricky Starks?
Oh my God, anything to bring in Ricky Starks.
It's Cody, Ricky Starks, Sammy Guevara, and Ethan Page, baby.
Oh God, you ruined it. Stop. Anyway, I think this was a good match for what it was. I do feel like this may now be over with Cody, Kevin. So I don't know if we finally get Randy back, please, for the love of God. But we'll see.
Good amount of violence. I think that this match super delivered. It's unfortunate that I have to keep saying it because I don't want to give the guy credit. But Cody on a pay-per-view hoops, man. That's where everyone's like, yeah, these stories are lacking, blah, blah, with this title reign. This title reign is far better than I ever thought, because I really, really care about these title matches and how good they are. And he's only had one bad one. Sorry to Solo. That SummerSlam match sucked.
But I still love you, Solo.
No, I love you too, Solo. You didn't need to be put in that spot. No one cared about that. It was a DIY Motor City Machine. Everyone went, okay, so where's Roman?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we got to the Men's Royal Rumble. One of the biggest upsets in Royal Rumble history, even though I called it. Well, to be fair, I had like 5 predictions for that, so it was one of mine. But we start off with Rey Mysterio and Penta. Penta becomes the Iron Man of this entire match.
Is he?
Yeah. He's the Iron Man at 42 minutes.
Damn.
Nothing compared to Roxanne, to be fair.
You gotta step it up.
17 girls went over 42 minutes for Penta. But
gotta be better.
Penta was dope.
Yeah.
In this, though, I didn't see it. I was off doing something else. I have seen it all over Twitter. It does look like his feet hit. His feet hit
he
like 30 seconds into the match.
I don't think he realized how tall he is compared to like the ring to the floor. Like it seems obvious, but it's probably not something you really like worry about going in here.
Yeah.
To it, like you don't think about it like that.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately,
Pat McAfee was selling. He said it was only 1 foot. he's like you can watch back if you want, but I know it was 1 foot.
It's funny. You can watch back if you want. We are a multi-billion-dollar company that has instant replay in a millisecond, but we were not going to show it.
Yeah.
I think the thing. Okay, so I'll talk about my least favorite thing here.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo Hayes thrown out at 6 minutes and 59 seconds by Braun Breaker. That hurt. That also goes to show me clearly in the NXT call-ups, there's a favorite, and it's not the better wrestler.
I don't know.
Braun's great. Braun's great. I'm not. No, Braun's great. But
can't
Melo is the guy. Melo and Montez Ford. I would build my companies with them.
We know.
I bet Melo, Montez Ford, Ricky Starks, just blend them all right there. Boom, that's my company. Get a little Mustafa in there, Daniel Garcia.
Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay.
Put Jeff as a legend.
You want to know what I kind of hated?
What? I swear to God, if you say what I think I'm going to say, I'm going to be so mad.
What are you going to be mad at?
What did you hate?
I don't know. Are you going to be mad at me?
I don't know. What did you hate?
I really wish there was like one legend.
Oh, okay.
Or something.
Oh, that's fine.
That's one of the things I hated. I have another one, but that's like, I wish there was like, I understand. Roster stacked. Mm-hmm. I hear that. I'm not coming out my seat for iShow Speed. I'm just not.
Okay, no, that was dope.
Yeah,
that's a great moment. Yes!
Here's my thing. That was cool. I'm not against that. I'm only against that because so I didn't get like a legend out of it. I just want to, if I got one legend, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
But we only had one spot.
Speed's not the person to blame here.
If I didn't say it was. But I'm saying we only got one cool spot, one TNA guy, and then one celebrity, and that's it.
Yeah, we didn't get an NXT wrestler, did we? No, not even one NXT guy.
No, nothing.
So, we'll talk about the Speed spot.
That was only my first irritation.
Sorry.
I have another one.
All right.
The disrespect to Daddy Dom will never end. It will never end. Let me tell you something. The Daddy Dom stands were rioting on Twitter. Okay?
Did y'all think that he ever had a chance?
It's not even just to win. What was his time? Find him. What was his time?
You sure you want to see this?
Yes.
4 minutes and 9 seconds.
That's fucking insanity. That's fucking stupid. That's stupid. It's stupid. He is one of your biggest stars. As far as like getting crowd reactions, you can't give him longer than 4 minutes? Really?
To be fair, Sami Zayn only got 5
I don't care. Sami Zayn gets a ton of opportunities. Daddy Dom is still in this fucking annoying, never-ending cycle of losses with JD McDonough, dealing with like super baby faces, and Damian Priest, who for the love of God won't go away. I am tired. We are tired. If he doesn't get gold in the next 6 months, I'm rioting outside Stanford's building. I'm rioting.
Money in the Bank. He's winning Money in the Bank.
That's not gold. I want gold.
It's either Money in the Bank or Carmelo Hayes is winning Money in the Bank. I'm convinced. That's one of the two.
I want gold now.
He ain't beating Braun Breaker, so I mean, you might get the Speed Championship if that makes you happy.
One?
The U.S. title?
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, we could take him.
He had to move to SmackDown.
Title. That's fine. Take his title, then go back.
That's not how that works.
Switch him and Braun. I don't care. I want Daddy Dom to have gold. This is ridiculous.
So, talk about the iShow Speed.
I'm sorry. Who the fuck did Speed eliminate?
He eliminated Otis with Braun. Him and Braun eliminated Otis.
I didn't know he was in on that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's why Otis was pissed and he throws him over. But Speed is currently streaming. Apparently, Kai's stream was like scuffed. But Speed's streaming, and Akira Tozawa comes in at 8. And Melo had just been eliminated. And Melo's pissed off, so Melo knocks out Akira Tozawa. They put Tozawa in gorilla position. I think took Triple H's chair. He could have booked this shit now. And maybe he changed it all, and that's why Jay won. Right. But then, so Triple H goes, oh, we have to have a replacement. And then he goes over to Speed, and he's like, go, you're in the Rumble. And it's just, I think it's so cool. Maybe it's just because, like, I literally look at this guy who is this massive One Piece fan who now gets to stream One Piece from Crunchyroll and has Oda's approval and is the biggest soccer fan and his football club is not my football club. He's a big Ronaldo fan, a Manchester United fan, and all of that, while I'm Liverpool. But, like, and then he got to be in the Royal Rumble. The kid's living my exact dream. Like, so I just thought it was so cool. Yeah. He gets to be put in there. He doesn't know what is going on. It literally looks like out of a movie. And then he gets to eliminate Otis. and then he gets speared in half. And it's just perfect because you know that they were just like, look, just sit there.
Yeah.
And like, Braun's going to do everything else because Braun just runs through him.
Right.
And it looks like, oh, this is the difference between a wrestler taking a spear and just a normal person taking a spear. And Braun spears the hell out of
him in half,
it. It looked like a movie.
It was like he hit him so fast that like the camera was on him and you see Speed go like this.
Yeah.
He's out of camp. Like they had to move it.
No, it was one of the best celebrity spots I've ever seen.
I'll give him. He's dedicated.
He's so good.
I'm not mad just that he's in it.
Yeah.
I was just a little disappointed because the reason I like the Rumble is I do like to see the legends pop back in. Now that does not mean that I want Goldberg on a fucking run for a title, okay? I don't want any of that shit. I don't want the old dudes coming back for runs they don't need or deserve. I just like that they pop in. We get to see them for a few minutes. They get a couple eliminations or something and then they dip out. I just like to have that little pop, that little excitement. It's what I like about the Rumble. So I was just a little sad that we didn't get any of those.
I get it.
I don't know if they count Cena. They shouldn't. If they
no, because I don't think that Cena was like. You're talking about like a one time, like legend just popping up, or like if they're coming back for like a short.
Like they had fucking Booker T do it a couple years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like
exactly.
that, or like I'm still holding out hope for a Batista.
I was literally gonna say if it was like Batista or somebody, and it's like okay, you don't have to be in here, but like just Batista shows up and like. Could eliminate Jacob Fatu.
We only had 2 Hall of Fame like legends for the women. It was just Nikki and Trish. Like it wasn't 12.
Yeah.
But like between that and then the NXT call ups, like that good mix.
Yeah.
I was like, that's great. I was so satisfied with the women's only having 2 legends return. There was nothing.
There was lacking a surprise element.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry. What's unacceptable to me is if I'm looking at entrant 28. There's 2 spots left, and I can tell you who's 30. I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
I do think that they structured that a little weird. But 30
should have fucking been Speed. Make it Speed.
But I think that the issue there was that they just didn't have surprises. Randy Orton's not here. Weirdly, I don't know why. Jeff Hardy not here. Matt Hardy not here. Who else was like a legend that they were talking about? Or even just like a surprise, like Omos just wasn't.
Bring up fucking Trick or Oba.
Or
I thought
Trick.
Might pop in.
Yeah,
or
Oba.
Tony D'Angelo.
That would have been
robbed.
That would have been a weird 30. But one of my favorite spots was Sheamus got some big time.
He did.
Sheamus and Big Jim got some time here, which made me really, really happy. Sheamus, I loved. At 15, we get Joe Hendry coming out. And Jacob Fatu is wrecking house at this point. And then Jacob Fatu spoils the Joe Hendry moment, taking him down.
Yeah.
And Sheamus is just sitting there watching Joe Hendry. He was just
sitting in that corner for a while.
He's just a fan. And then Jacob ends it. And he's like, what are you doing? I was watching. I was enjoying that. What are you so bloody angry for? And he actually tweeted, he was like, me, 30 seconds, was believing. That Sheamus was really, really good in this. Unfortunately, he gets eliminated by Roman, which I don't think that there's a story there for him. There's a couple of these had weird, like, non-stories.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, Ludwig and Penta are going to be going up. Actually, that does make sense, yeah. But, like, Roman eliminated Miz. I think that was just to, like, eliminate somebody. Unfortunately, I think that was the same for Sheamus. Jacob eliminated Andrade. I don't think that will lead to a story or anything.
I think I'm going to cut to the chase here because you can list these all out. Most of these are going to be non-stories. I think the only thing that we're getting a story out of is, like, maybe something with like Jacob. They did Braun and Jacob, and that's about it. Outside of that, it's probably Damian and Drew, which apparently has some tea alongside it that Sean Ross Sapp said he's actively working on. When I last looked at Twitter a few minutes ago, he's figuring that information out. And then the whole jumbled mess that left Marisa confused emotionally and very unsure of life. Seth is falling. Roman is pushing, and then they're, fighting to not fall out of the ring, and then CM Punk comes in and throws out both of them, which leaves Marisa conflicted, right? Right? That's part 1.
Yep.
I'm conflicted because I said there's a very good chance that we get Roman Punk, right? So I'm sitting there. Seth comes out when Roman and Punk are both in the ring, and I say, who does he go after? Seth, who do you hate more? Maybe that'll help, inform my decision of who I would have to pick if I have to pick someone, right? So he goes after Punk. So I'm like, okay, so we hate Punk more, right? But then Punk throws out Roman, and Roman losing I love, right? So then I'm like, Now we're back in the same spot, right?
Yeah.
Roman also went after Dom, which is fucking rude. So now I'm back in the same spot of now you're both kind of even in my hatred again.
Yeah.
And then Logan Paul is the one that throws out CM Punk. And now we've added a third element of hatred. And now I'm just kind of confused. Now, to be fair, CM Punk is allowed in Japan. So maybe that gives him an upper hand. He is not banned from any countries that we're aware of. I think he's allowed everywhere. I think he chooses not to be in Saudi.
I don't know with the scam stuff. I don't know. No. Oh, you said CM Punk.
Yeah,
Sorry.
CM Punk.
I thought you were talking about Logan.
No, Logan, I'm sure, is banned from plenty of places. So, just very emotionally unstable for Marisa. Very confusing. I really, honestly, I kind of want to just lock it in a box and throw it away. I don't really know what to do with it. I don't think it helped me whatsoever.
Yeah,
but it was kind of crazy. It was crazy in the moment. It's kind of crazy also, like, not that I would ever say that CM Punk is, like, a hyped up person, but it's kind of crazy to give Logan Paul the spot of taking out CM Punk.
100%. It's genuinely wild.
If I were, hypothetically, to be unbiased, that is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm Erica, I'm pissed.
Yeah, you can hate CM Punk all you want. That's still crazy. But I think that this Rumble was going so well. Like, the little things that they were doing was just so good. Drew coming out right after Roman, going right after Roman. But we just forget about it partway through the Rumble. And, like, Damian Priest eliminates Drew McIntyre. I get it. It's probably going to be Priest versus Drew. It just came off so weird. It came off so fast. It was just so odd.
I'm also kind of annoyed that Damian was the one that threw out Dom.
Yeah, because that's not a story anymore.
It's supposed to be dead, and also,
hopefully not.
Like, it's. I think the reason that Dom fans are so upset is because we're like, where are we going?
Where are we going with this? Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, you've had him in this, like, never-ending Judgment Day cycle for, like, 2.5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
It might be longer. I think it's 2.5. But, like, when are we ending this?
At the very least, change Dom and AJ Styles and have Penta throw out Dom,
something just like it just felt very like I feel like with Dom, I always feel like there's like a missed opportunity, or like something we didn't do. Like it could have been like even like something like if Dom came out first, like we were saying, or second, when it starts off with Ray, would have been cool. But it's just like, and then give Dom time. And like they have the thing of like they always kind of have Dom. It's like, oh, you suck, you lose. Like, you lose really quick. It's kind of like chicken shit heel, but not really. Like, you know what I mean? It's that kind of vibe of, like, he always takes the L quickly. Yeah. He's kind of, they kind of bitch him out.
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of the bitch. And it's like, at what point do we finally move on from that and do something else?
I don't think they do for a long time. I don't think they do till he cashes in.
That's insane.
And then even still, he probably does it. This is what they did with Seth.
But I guess that's my worry is like if we're still doing this right now when like he is supposed to be the like biggest heel, which he is, but he's kind of getting cheered now.
A little bit.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's like it's starting to be like we love to hate him so much that we kind of love him now. Like we're kind of getting there slowly. And it's like if you're still treating him like this now, I don't know if I want him to win Money in the Bank because I worry he's not going to win the cash in.
No, I think that he would lose.
Or he's not going to be taken seriously. You're going to do it in that time frame?
It would be what happened with Damian Priest. He lost everything and lost all the time and then ended up cashing in and winning.
That's just exhausting.
Yeah. Also, let's talk about a little interesting nugget here. Sami Zayn thrown out by Jey Uso.
Yeah. It was an accident, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an accident.
But
I thought the story there was going to be Sami Zayn accidentally eliminating Seth, which caused Seth a heel turn. Now Seth did have a crash out when Roman and
he did. It was
and
great.
And
like 3
Punk
curb stomps
had him when Punk had him eliminated. But do we think that Sami goes heel? I hate it. I hate the idea.
Can I be honest? The whole thing feels weird and a little forced.
What?
Like the whole like Sami keeps accidentally hitting people and now they're mad at him and now we're switching and now Jay's accidentally hitting Sami and it's a whole thing.
I think it's going to be with
weird.
The combination of Sami continuously haluva kicking people. I think it's like, yes, it's an accident, but if he was doing that for real and he had that hatred for these people, he could probably be world champion. And then you also combine that with Jey Uso throwing him out and Cody Rhodes, somebody that he backed, and then Cody Rhodes, somebody that he backed, is celebrating over him and his best friend gushing blood.
Well, your best friend needs to be less of a dick.
But maybe Sami questions, did I pick the right side?
Maybe.
And I hate the story. I hate it. Yeah. But I do think that could be a route that they go. Just a bit odd because like I don't know why they didn't have Seth eliminate him or him eliminate
Yeah.
Seth. But I am excited because I do believe that we're going to get a triple threat match for Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk.
Works for me. At least I got an easy pick.
Fair. Also, are we doing AJ Styles LA Knight again? That was another one that felt weird. But I do love, they did tell a lot of stories throughout this. And then Logan Paul comes in at 30, unfortunately. And we see it go down to 3 after Logan eliminates CM Punk. And it's John Cena, Logan Paul, Jey Uso. John Cena eliminates Logan Paul. And we get to John Cena versus Jey Uso.
I like that they gave that a little bit of time to kind of cook a little bit, because we may not get Cena versus Jey one-on-one, so we got just like a little bit of it in the ring here. I am still shocked that Cena didn't win.
It's funny. I'm shocked and I'm not, because I've been the whole time leading up to the Rumble. I'm like, Jay's my dark horse. Jey could do it. Jey.
Well, I guess my thing is like, the point of view that everybody's had is like they're just not pulling the trigger on Jey.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kind of figured like you have John Cena back, Royal Rumble, farewell tour. He's obviously getting 17 at some point. This feels like the most obvious way to get him to Cody at Mania. You'd think it's John Cena, because they're never pulling the trigger on Jey, then they did.
It's funny because a lot of people are mad that Charlotte came back and she won.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are mad that Cena didn't come back and win.
Right.
It's this is why I'm not upset about Jey winning. I think it's cool. Look, Jay's not my favorite wrestler. I am the Big Jim guy. I think Jimmy's better.
Oh, we know.
But whether Jay's my favorite or not, the dude over as hell.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm seeing a lot of is like, obviously there's a lot of hate for Jey winning, and I don't know if that was over Cena or over Punk or both.
I think a lot of it online is that they're just like, Jay's not a good in-ring guy. There's been so many wrestlers that aren't good in-ring guys. You guys haven't carried it to this level.
If you guys wanted good in-ring guys, you would have sat down and fucking watched the DIY.
Yeah! This is the same people pissed. Actually, it's not the same people pissed, because that arena was hyped. They were hyped about Jey Uso, and they were not hyped about DIY.
Yeah. But it's just like, so I'm assuming it's something, probably a mix of those three things is the reason why people are mad. But I've also seen a lot of people be like, why are y'all so fucking mad and shocked? Like, everybody fucking loses their shit over the Yeet, and his entrance is always so huge. There's not a single person seated when he comes out.
Exactly.
And like, we shouldn't be shocked that that's the winner. We've been asking for them to pull the trigger on Jey for so fucking long. They finally did it, and now you're mad about it. And then also people were like, oh, Charlotte was predictable. Jey was not.
Right.
So it's like, we're quite literally seeing between the two Rumbles about an hour apart how unbelievably fickle wrestling fans are. Because you get everything that they wanted with the Women's Rumble that they didn't get with Charlotte, they did get with Jey, and they're still mad about it.
Yeah. Because it's not the person that they wanted.
But I like this. We don't know if, we're assuming Gunther will still be champion by Mania, and that's who Jey picks. And I am down for that. I would love to see Jey have a good match with Gunther, WrestleMania, and finally prove, like, I'm good in ring. I can take this guy who's, like, known to be a really good wrestler. I would love that. I would love for, and I think, genuinely, I know this is John Cena's farewell tour. Respectfully, Jonathan. Jey Uso winning the world title at WrestleMania may be the biggest pop in history. No. History's dramatic, but you know what I'm saying? It's going to be fucking insane.
It's going to probably, be in the top 10 to 20
pops.
WWE moments of just Jey, and people don't want to compare it. And I
can't wait to see kids crying in the stands. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it's the same thing, right? By any means. Before I say this, I'm not saying that it's the same thing by any means. But there is the Yes movement.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then there was Kofi Mania. Mm-hmm. And then there was The Man with Becky Lynch. And it was like these big culminating, and then we had Cody, right?
Yeah.
These big culminating moments. I think Jay's is kind of the next one.
Yeah.
Where the fans are waiting for it, the fans want it.
Yeah.
And then they get that massive, oh my God, babyface is the greatest time party type of feel-good story. And I think that's what happens with Jey Uso and Gunther. I do understand there have been people that have been like, we've been seeing this. Jey Uso and Gunther, like, we've We've seen this multiple times, and that's the part where I do understand them being like, I want the WrestleMania match to be something I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Now apparently, we've seen a great match between Jey Uso and Gunther, because at Saturday night's main event, Dave Meltzer rated that shit 4.5.
Dave Meltzer's stupid.
But I can agree and disagree with Dave Meltzer plenty of times. 4.5 is just not what I saw. In my eyes, I do love the ending. I thought the ending for that was dramatic and great. That was not a 4.5 star match. But hopefully Jay provides that. I don't know if Jay is ever going to be like the guy that a lot of the internet wants him to be in terms of the in-ring guy. And I don't think it matters that much for WWE fans. It's the reason why that NXT crowd, who's the biggest guy in NXT, is Trick Williams, because and he's not the greatest in-ring guy. He's good enough. He's good enough to have the character that he has, and people aren't bored.
Yeah, he's always entertaining. I think if Jay is willing to pull off like some cool moves, some cool spots, I think that can put aside the fact that he's not the best in-ring wrestler.
He needs to watch Jimmy. Oh my God. You need to watch Jimmy. Jimmy's been going crazy, by the way. It's all of my Twitter is just like, where was this at WrestleMania? It's also probably because they got like 7 minutes.
Right.
But yeah, that could also be a really cool moment for Jay to kind of, say he comes out with a 5-star match. He fucking is doing the brain buster that Sammy did at last year's Mania and everything. He's just doing some crazy ass shit that he comes out with it, and people are like, Jay's a hooper? That could be the best way to make Jay champion.
Yeah.
But he's winning at WrestleMania, no doubt about it.
It's going to be awesome.
Talking about the fallout of this, I do think that Cena ends up winning the chamber to earn the #1 contendership for Cody.
But he will not be on TV till then.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we might have to drop him in the fantasy league.
John could be pissed.
No, he told me to.
Oh. Yeah. I think overall, though, I think this was a good pay-per-view. I think I give it like an 8.
I think it was great. Outside of the fans kind of sucking for DIY.
Crowd was rough. The
crowd was great.
For the Rumbles.
For the Rumbles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I might get 8.5, 9 for me. I think that's fair. I really
I was disappointed. I was disappointed in pieces of the roster for the men's. I loved the women's.
Yeah.
The tag match was fine.
Yeah.
For me, I still wish that story was more exciting, but loved the Street Profits.
Yeah.
And then I really liked the Cody Kevin match. So I would say like 8. I think 8.5 is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought that this was great. This is one of my favorite pay-per-views that WWE's put on since probably like,
I can't think that far. I'm not as hyped as I was for SummerSlam last year.
Oh, that's crazy, because I think that this is
no, but SummerSlam was literally created for me.
Yeah,
outside of MGK coming out with Logan Paul, that was created for me. I got Liv winning, Dom choosing Liv, the Dom Liv kiss, the Finn turning on Damian, CM Punk losing. I got everything I wanted.
To be honest,
Cody winning.
I think that this would have been a perfect pay-per-view. Say they had Io Charlotte at the end. Io surprises everyone. She wins.
Mm-hmm.
They still could do this, and Jay's not my favorite, but they could still do the Jay moment, right? And you just place that crowd in France. If those two things happened, it's a perfect pay-per-view to me.
That's fair.
I can't believe how hated this pay-per-view is. I think it's great, and I think that
I think everybody's dramatic.
I think we're gonna go back 5 years from now and go, oh, that pay-per-view is actually really good.
Yeah. Well, those are our ratings. Those are our thoughts. Feel free to comment below. Let us know what you think. Your ratings, what you liked, what you didn't like. Maybe, if you want to see Batista pop back up in WWE too, because I would love that at any point in time.
Be cool.
It'd be great.
Dave.
It'll be fun. So yeah, leave your comments below. Let us know what you think, and thank you for watching.
Deuces, oses.